details, and to put much faith in a grand plan while neglecting practical concerns are some of the issues for this position suggests. Okay, did you hear that? That goes, and I'll after I read this, I will give you. Matter of fact, I will give you the definition of being responsible first, so that we can move in order, because that would make more sense to tell you the definition of responsibility. Responsibility. Okay, the thing had closed out on me right quick, but I got it. It's coming up. Okay. So the definition to responsibility here, I have it pulled up on Webster, because I just think that this is the best meaning of being responsible, of being responsibility, and it reads the quality or state of being responsible, such as moral, a legal, well, not even legal, but a moral or mental accountability. Something for which one is responsible for, obviously, which is basically just being moral and being morally accountable for something. And we know the morals. We know our morals.
Wow.
Which we stand upon, so that we don't
she didn't know
against ourselves.
Responsibility meant responsible. How about that?
Our morals are compassion, transparency, self-control, integrity, all the Mayat laws.
Wow.
These are the morals that we stand by here in Carbonation, so that we don't fall victim to going against ourselves, or doing anything against ourselves, of going against ourselves. So being responsible is having a moral standpoint or mental accountability for something. Being responsible is also based in having the ability to consciously, constructively respond to something. Having the ability to respond to something constructively and morally is to have the ability to respond to something constructively and consciously and morally.
And normally.
So when my Virgo North Node comes into Virgo, this is the very thing that I am becoming. This is the very thing that I am elevating to. This is my evolution, and you're watching me go through it. So a tendency to avoid dealing with details and practicalities of everyday life. That sounds like being responsible to me. That sounds like
really
having a responsibility for something and not wanting to deal with it, but avoiding it at all costs. To lead a rather hazardous or unorganized existence, to avoid formulating clear goals, and to put too much faith in the grand plan while neglecting practical concerns are some of the issues for this position. With this position, we need to work on developing some healthy and practical routines and schedules. Otherwise, we may be victim of vague worries and anxieties. Winning life is fine to an extent, but without clear goals and some orderliness, we can easily feel like we are not in control of our lives. With this position, we have great compassion for others. Taken too far, that's neither here or there.
Skipping shit. Yeah, girl, too much to read.
Our goal should be to establish limits for others and ourselves, to be responsible, to develop a more focused mind and orderliness that will empower us with confidence in ourselves and in our lives, to be responsible, to develop systems that will help us to be more productive, and to pay attention to deadlines, details, and to rules that we enrich our lives. By structuring our lives, we will be able to come closer to achieving our dreams. So, because I am chiefess, and I am in a position of chiefess, I am accountable for a lot of things. I am very responsible for everyone around me.
Damn. Are you, Eliana, are you paying attention to anything Nature Boy is writing? You know, Nature Boy is in there trying to throw her a bone. All right, like goddamn. I'm just curious. You know, if I was paying attention, I would be reading what Nature Boy's writing. You know, that's just me. Yeah, she's the crazy supreme being.
Not confrontation, not anything. And so you find me in these moments where, because I don't want to deal with things, it all bottles up inside of me, and then I go off because I'm just like, I don't want to do this. Like, but that's not healthy for me, because I'm actually wrote this for myself, and I gave myself the opportunity to reconsider having responsibility and giving myself back that power so that I can learn how to be a good leader, how I can learn how to have the ability to properly respond to certain things so that I can teach everybody else.
Get your ass off the Wi-Fi.
Are we breaking up? Are we breaking up?
Tell niggas get the fuck off the Wi-Fi. 10-4.
Okay, so giving myself,
get your ass off the Wi-Fi.
Giving myself back the opportunity to respond properly to certain things so that I can elevate to a higher state of consciousness, because I am a leader. I am chief this. This is what I came here to do.
I am chief this.
For myself, then you see where, you know, my life is headed. It doesn't look good for me. It's not very pretty. And I know that. And so now, with everything that happened to me over the couple past days, especially with my family cutting their hair with me because I chose to be irresponsible in a moment of anger, it really motivated me and pushed me to be more responsible, to grow further within my evolution of knowing myself so that I can become my greatest version of myself, because I don't want to and I'm not going to keep vibrating to that same person that I was yesterday or the day before yesterday, because that's not who I am. That is not who I truly am. Though that is an aspect of myself, that is not who I truly am. And I have to pay homage to my husband, to my chief, because
to the Almighty Chief
for me through the whole time, to keep me afloat, to keep my head on straight when I was about to just walk out because of being irrational and being irresponsible and not thinking about the other people in my life and not thinking about how it affected them, let alone how it affected me, not giving myself enough love to see the bigger picture for myself and want the best for myself and keep myself steady and stable. And so without him, you know, I couldn't even be sitting right here in this moment. And simultaneously, with the relationship with him, you know, I keep myself attached to his lifesaver. I keep myself attached to him.
His dick.
You know, I think that was
I keep myself attached to his dick.
You see me, I'm growing, I'm elevating, and I wish that everybody, and I know that everybody who are supposed to grow with me will grow with me, and we will, you know, grow together. And so my whole family took the time out to remind me, my reality took the time out to remind me to grow, to don't be irresponsible out of a moment of your emotions, because it affects everything. It affects the whole world. And I didn't realize that. I didn't really understand what that meant until everybody cut their hair, because first of all, we know what the hair means.
Yeah.
We know how sacred it is for the being, the technologies of the body. And for my whole family to cut their hair said everything about their hearts toward me and to myself.
Well, they keep doing that.
And I don't want to keep perpetuating that behavior for them to have cut their hair, because at the end of the day, if I was to continue to be irresponsible, then we would not have hair for the rest of our lives. And that's not good, because our hair is an extension of our nervous system, and you should not be cutting your hair. Everybody's like, well, hair holds energy, da-da-da-da-da-da. You have to learn how to constructively deal with energy if that's what you believe. And yes, hair is energy, but it is what you say it is. The energy that it holds the energy that you say that it holds, not, you know, what you would, you know, unless you decided that it holds that energy. unless you think that. And if you really feel like that, then you need to learn how to constructively deal with that energy so that it does not become a part of your personality, because that's what we like to do. We like to have our emotions and keep them attached to ourselves. Emotions come and they go, so you have to let them come and you have to let them go. Just like thoughts, and your emotions come from your thoughts. So whatever thoughts that you're having, whatever emotions that you're having, you can easily change your thoughts so that you won't continue to have those same emotions and vibrate on that frequency. And even if you get to the frequency of the emotion, then, or the vibration of the emotion from the frequency of the thought, then you can go back to the thought and correct the thought, self-correct, and have self-control enough to switch your thoughts so that you can think on a high vibrational standpoint, or however you want to think, to keep yourself in balance. And this is where reality is just trying to teach us. It's trying to teach us ourselves. How responsible are we when something happens to us? And you can find this through your astrological programming. Because of my Mercury, now my Mercury is in Aquarius, so I can be very intellectual. I can be very this is why in the moment
intellectual does not mean educated.
Calm, I am coming back and I understand what I did. I understand the severity of what I did, or maybe to a certain extent in certain situations. But neither here or there. I understand what I did in the moment, and I can own up to what I did because it's an Aquarius. Aquarius is very logical, practical. It's very just like straight to the point and understanding and just like mathematical. And so in a moment of when I don't have emotions and when I'm doing downloads, I can be very intellectual. I can be very, just very smart and very intelligent and very knowledgeable.
I could be intelligent and knowledgeable, but I didn't graduate.
In the fourth house. Now, when it comes into the fourth house, when I have certain thoughts or situations happen to me, the way that I process it through the fourth house can be very detrimental to me because I can be very subjective. I could be a very subjective thinker if I don't have my husband by my side to rationalize what just happened logically to me because of my Mercury in the fourth house. This doesn't happen with everything, but when it becomes personal, when it's more like closer to me and more personal, this is when it becomes very subjective for me. And I can say when it's for someone else, I can be very logical for the other person. But when it comes to me as my debilitation, which I need to learn from myself in moments of having that logical standpoint for the other person, I need to extend that back to myself. I need to learn how to control my energies in the moment of my emotions when I am subjectively rationalizing something out, because that is a part of my growth. That is something that I have to grow into. I have to grow past, and I know that I can because I've already done it with the other person. So all I have to do is take those energies and point them back to myself so that I can help myself. And so I can rationalize things very emotionally and very subjectively. By the time it gets to my Mars doesn't want to deal with anything. It's just like, fuck everything. By the time it gets to Libra, by the time my subjective thoughts get to Libra is so undecisive, and Libra is like, what do I even do with these thoughts? So it continues to think about what it has rationalize it out to me subjectively. So I'm in this subjective thinking, like overthinking subjectivity.
Stop. The Libra is talking back to you, Eliana. The Libra is not supposed to be responding to you. All right? She said the Libra is communicating with her and saying shit to her. This might be a problem, as the signs are not supposed to be speaking or responding to you. FYI. Side note.
Or in jail because they don't constructively know how to deal with their frustration or all of the energy that's bottled up because they don't know how to rationalize it or take action or be responsible enough or have the ability to respond to the situation that they just dealt with constructively to not have that energy to be built up. And so what you see is just just me, you see my astrological programming in those moments. And so I do have
No, I see
this.
I see a crazy motherfucker.
For my inability to respond correctly that I've witnessed so far as a pattern of myself, my avenue of expression, self-expression, to counteract the suppression of energy is to talk. At first I thought that I was a drawer, a painter, an artist. I thought that I was that, and that's cool and everything to get your energies out through, right? It's okay. It's totally fine to use avenues for creativity as far as like the arts and stuff like that to express this energy. But what we need all as humanity needs to understand is that through talking, this is why we have a mouth. This is why we have a vocal box. We have a vocal cord. We have, we push out energy through words so that we can hear each other. That is the best way for us to communicate. I can sit here and draw a picture all I want for the person. Just imagine if, the only way I was able to communicate with someone was through a piece of painting. And I drew a painting and I could have meant one thing when I drew it, but when the other person looks at it, the other person interprets it totally different. So then, therefore, it's still a miscommunication between what needs to be understood between two parties. So from us talking and using precise vocabulary to get the point across to each other, then we can then have we can have understanding between each other. But you also, when you're communicating with someone, you also have to understand the words that the person is using and be on the same frequency of thought and understand the way that the person is using the words, because even words can become misconstrued because of how the other person think about it, or their definition behind it, because some people are so subjective that they have their own meaning to word. And sometimes I do this. Sometimes
you got your own meaning to the word. Okay.
I can make up a definition for the word angry, and it actually means something else. And so,
goddamn!
Especially when
shit!
part of
now that was funny.
Learning how to
that was funny. God damn.
Having the ability to respond to things constructively is to know yourself.
Damn, Nature Boy, you got you a extra stupid bitch. I mean, like, damn.
Debilitating you from having the ability to respond correctly. Because if you don't know, if you don't know,
shit. Angry means snow. It's angry outside. It's angry outside. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Is
man.
Very.
Oh, Eliana is got me rolling. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Pointing everything in my chart that debilitates me from having the ability to respond to things constructively.
Shit.
I have to sit with myself, and I have to say, and I have to look at myself and self-reflect, and I have to look at my actions, and I have to look at my chart, and I have to compare and understand what it is that's stopping me. And I know that it's my Mercury in the 4th house and then my Mars. And so, and aspects that I have within my Mars and aspects that I have within my Mercury that keeps me continuing this pattern. So now that I know the issue, I know the debilitation, now I can change it. Now, also, when you are responding to, and my husband, he just said more vulnerability.
My husband just said, I can't do this. Nature Boy, stop coaching. No cheating, nigga. No cheating.
Normally,
my husband just said,
have responsibility, or we have.
Well, give your husband the goddamn microphone.
Respond to certain things, especially.
All right, we want Nature Boy. What the hell? What the fuck is this?
a huge influential impact on
Oh shit.
we could not be as vulnerable as we should
Oh.
when we are dealing with responding to certain things. And
She said I could take a word like angry and make up a whole new meaning for it. That's not the actual meaning.
Is responding to it in the most vulnerable way to get the most result. Because when you're vulnerable, this shows
when you're vulnerable.
The depths of
yeah, spell that. Vulnerable.
Say to someone.
This bitch can't even spell.
Being vulnerable.
Vulnerable. What language is that? Vulnerability. I can't do this.
And I want to give an example.
Oh my God.
His hair yesterday. That was the most vulnerable.
The vulnerable.
I've seen him. That is the most vulnerable time that I've ever seen him. He's very vulnerable.
Very vulnerable.
I understand what the hair means to him. Carbonation, we understand what the hair is, and for him to take that extra step by cutting his hair off too, that is just amazing. That is just something that I cannot. That's not replaceable. Like that's something that's just like, damn. Like, are you serious? Especially Chief. So, with him being that vulnerable.
Oh my God.
Destructive situation lets me know everything about him through his vulnerability because
his vulnerability.
Vulnerable. We would not be together. I would not be back in Babylon, and it would not be pretty. It wouldn't be pretty for me. So we like to put our pride in the way of our vulnerability, and we like to get stuck in our egos and, try to play this macho role to each other, men and women, to get a certain response out of people.
Right, that vulnerable.
Because we're afraid of each other. Or some trauma that happened to us from us being vulnerable. What we don't understand is, and what my chief has taught me over and over and over without saying it. He said it to me, yes, of course, over and over and over. Then times there were.
Hey, look, she keep trying to spell it. Look, everybody's spelling the word. She not reading. Vulnerable. I can't do this.
So it is reprogramming my subconscious. So if we time out to not being out.
I'm sorry, Chief. This is too much work for me, man.
Stop putting pride in the way of.
This is too much work for me. Jesus Christ.
Start to create better relationships. We can start molding and shaping and having control over our reality the way we want to. Because when you put up your pride and you're not.
YouTube signed me out too. I think they're updating.
You create a lie through that very action of, putting up a guard, or you lie in those moments. And so what you do
I think YouTube is updating. It did me the same way. It kicked me out when I went to the chat room.
Why a lot of people say, I'm not happy in life, I'm not happy with what I got. Well, you've been lying about everything. Stop pointing the finger so much at the other person and realize what you've done to yourself. Because if you was vulnerable in that moment with the person,
that's right,
then your reality will be totally different. You will see a totally different reality. And so my job here in this universe is to be responsible. Right. Is to have the ability to constructively respond to.
How can you say respond but can't say vulnerable?
I can know how to respond when everything is all good, but do you know how to respond when everything is up in the air and twisted and turned like a mango mystic? You know what I'm saying? Everything looks foggy and you.
Oh, God damn. Somebody call us there, man. Somebody call us there, man.
And your ability to respond to whatever it is that's coming to you.
Oh, God damn.
The way that it needs to be moral in the way that you respond. And this goes so that you can come out on top every single time. And this is why Chief comes out on top every single time, because he never shakes or breaks his morals for nothing, for no one.
Hey Sharon, they're updating. YouTube is updating, so it's going to do that.
No, actually,
probably all day.
He's becoming more. He's becoming.
It's going to sign you in and sign you out. It's just checking for troll accounts.
And if he would have took any route other than
or
that,
dead accounts,
he would have been going against his morals. So you have to understand the dynamic of the situation. You have to understand that that's what we like to do, especially in Babylon. We like to throw the person away. We like to just get rid of them. And even I have had patterns of myself where, somebody did something to me and I wasn't stuck to my morals, and I just gave up on them, or I just was like, no, get out of my face.
Omek.
And there were times when people were actually taken out of my life because they were no longer serving me and I was no longer serving them. But I've had situations where, I just was like, you fucked over me? Like, no, I'm not doing this. Or something happened and I just...
That was just what I
walked away instead of being stuck in my morals and letting the situation play out the way that it needed to anyway, and get the lesson that I needed to. Because, when we throw people away or we try to get rid of them, the situation is just going to come back to you in a different form so that you can learn the lesson that you needed to learn with the person that came to you prior to the other person showing up, or to the other situation that you manifested from what you need to learn in the first place. And this is what I've been doing the entire time. Every time I have gotten to that, when I had that episode the other day, I've gotten to that point 2 times before in my life that I can remember. And I always ran away. I always walked away instead of communicating. Instead of responding to the situation in a constructive way, I always just walked away. I just always left, and I didn't deal with the situation. And this has everything to do with my past life and what I used to do in my past life and my self-know. Not wanting to be responsible. Not wanting to, or wanting
self-know,
to avoid all responsibility out.
Oh shit. Sorry. Somebody donated. Appreciate that.
Because it's just going to be a cycle that's never ending. And of course, it's going to get me and vibrate me to a reality that serves just that. You see what I'm saying? If I continue to keep acting in irresponsible ways and destructive ways and immoralistic ways, then my environment will give that to me. It will portray that to me. And so...
Okay.
It is what it is.
And it ain't what it ain't could be what it can't.
We need to understand that about ourselves so that we can put one foot in front of the other, because no one can change that for you.
Oh.
There will be things in your life that will show you certain things about yourself and show you the environment that you're in, but you have to be cognitive enough to understand it. You have to want to understand it. You have to put yourself in a position to understanding it for yourself and not for the other person, so that you can truly grow from the situation. And I'm just ready to pick up what I am currently. Like, I'm in progress. You see what I'm saying? What you see is unfolding. What you see is literally becoming in front of your eyes. And you will see a different person the same time from now. And just like everybody else, people have evolutions of themselves. It just so happened that you are watching my live, broadcasted live, And so, we would like to think that people are external of us and that we don't have a connection. But just as if anybody has seen the live yesterday of us, of the family, if anybody's seen the live of us yesterday as a family, and when everybody gave me their hair and they told me how connected they were to my situation, lets you know how connected we all are and how we actually share the same experiences. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other people in the room shared that same experience with me too, if not had their own experience with anger or the way that they...
Well, no. I mean, I cut my hair just because it's hygienic. It's not because of anger.
Everything that I have is at stake and at jeopardy when I am not being responsible. When I'm being irresponsible, I put everything at jeopardy and at stake, including my life. And
Yeah, I thought they were perfect
we
too, but
cannot keep putting people external of us and saying, you know, she's do this and that and she this and she that. No, you have to look at me and look at me as a particle of yourself and a reflection of yourself and say, what part of me is this? Is this a part of me that I need to work on? Then let's get down to it and understand where in my astrological programming that I have to work on it at so that I can get over it and grow with Nana. Or is this an aspect of me where I'm already exalted, where I can extend wisdom and knowledge to that reflection of myself so that I don't continue to keep through that part of myself, keep continuing to have the same patterns over and over and over. And we have to be here for each other. And this is why Carbonation and Chief did what he did yesterday, because that shows unity. That shows that we're here and down for each other. And if I fall, then everyone falls. And if someone else falls, then everyone's fall. And then we all get back up together and we all keep growing together. And not to keep perpetuating the same thing, because now when I look into my universe and every time I see someone walks around with their haircut, I immediately understand, like, damn, I did that. Like, I did that. Like, that was my doing. This is how I walked my universe. And so I'm constantly being reminded to respond different to certain situations. And that is what I'm doing. Currently I'm going, my avenues are to just keep like being responsible. When you are responsible, the first thing that Chief taught me, of course, was morals. Keep your morals. Know your morals. Know your morals. Keep your morals. Don't shake them and break them for nobody. The second major thing when having the ability to respond to something constructively is to communicate. You have to communicate verbally with your mouth. You have to go up to the person and say, yo, whatever it is that's inside of you, you have to get it out. You have to, talk to the person. And you have to keep your morals no matter where you go. Everybody online, everybody's online. So when people are online, it gives people an avenue to be whatever and become whoever they want. But whoever you become on social media says a lot about your character in real life. You see what I'm saying? So if you're on social media and you are going against if you in everyday life have morals and principles, but when you get online, everything go out the door and you start to act, immoralistic, then that means you had no morals from the beginning. And you have to keep your morals on and off social media. This is who you are. This is what, this is the core of who you are. So your morals go wherever you are. And if you are a person who doesn't have morals and who wants to have morals because no one taught you morals, go to Carbonation TV and study Carbonation and you will see the morals. We have songs about the morals. We post pictures about the morals. Maya laws, all these things. So you have to want it for yourself. No one can want to have that for you. Someone can teach you morals, but you have to want to apply those morals to your life and keep them so that you don't fall to your lower self. You see? So, communication is very important when you're responding. And we can say, I communicate. Like, some people go and just start fussing at the other person and think that that's communicating. But you have to understand that there's a way and a how to do something. You can communicate, but you need to understand. You have to always understand the situation and the person on how to come at you responding to it. Because every situation is not required the same communication response. You have to learn how to finesse. You have to learn how to, in certain ways, how to project yourself and how to push your energy when responding to something. Otherwise, you can push too hard and break something, or you can come too soft and not get the actual result that you need. So you need to know the exact amount of energy that you need on how to come at a situation when you're dealing with it. That just happened live. Your thoughts are powerful. Your thoughts are the building block of your reality. If you allow your thoughts to debilitate you from communicating properly, then you will get the reality that reflects your thought pattern. I have done that. I have to tell you, as a reflection of yourself that has went through that, don't do that. Don't subjectively, if this is what you do, don't subjectively think about something. You have to communicate. If you don't understand something, you ask questions humbly. You don't come asking questions with assumptions. You don't come asking questions as if you already know what's going on, because you truly don't know. And that's the very reason why you came to ask the questions, is because you don't know. There's no pride that's needed. There's no arrogance that's needed for you to get an understanding. All you need to do is simply humble to get the correct answer. Come with an empty mind, an empty cup, so that you can get the true answer of what you need, so that you can respond to the situation constructively. My pattern used to be destructively responding to situations because of how I subjectively process things in my life. Now, I am growing and learning, and in the progression, in responding to things in a more constructive way, without assuming or conclusions, without an attitude, without a mindset as if I already know what's going on, but to ask questions, to understand. Study your astrological programming so that you can know what debilitates you from communicating, so that you can know what debilitates you from constructively responding to certain situations, to know how to respond to certain situations constructively through knowing your debilitation. Responsibility is not as simple as we like it, or as we like to think it is. You know, a lot of people say, I'm responsible for a house, I'm responsible for my kids, I'm responsible for this, for that, for that. But responsibility is way much more deeper than that. You can be responsible for the sake of someone else's life, or someone else's anything. You know, you could be responsible for a lot of things. But really, you need to be aiming and understanding that responsibility for yourself before you can extend that to anybody. Because the way that you respond to yourself, and the way that you treat yourself through responding whatever type of way it is, you will extend to the other person. So you have to make sure that you're responding for you the right way before you can respond to anybody the right way, or anything the right way. You understand? I will be opening it up for questions. Women, if you have questions about the topic of today, responsibility, I'm only taking questions on the topic today. If it is a question that's out the way, I will not answer it. I will only take questions that are on the topic. If you have other questions that are not on the topic, please go to my inbox and put it in my inbox, and we can talk about it there. Otherwise, I am taking callers in, women only. Men, you will get blocked. Anybody that's being disrespectful will get blocked forever. Well, kind of not forever, because you already heard the message. But don't disrespect me. I won't be taking disrespect on my page. You will get blocked from the live. You will get blocked from my page. You will get banned, because we should not be disrespecting each other. I don't disrespect you. Don't disrespect me. If you don't agree, go find something that you agree with, and stop giving your energy to stuff that you don't agree with. So with that being stated, I will take in the first caller. If you have an experience and wisdom and knowledge that you would like to share about something that you went through, please share it. Yanni Ransom, Natural Queen Yanni. .c. I am adding you to the room. Waiting for Natural Queen Yanni. Peace reflection.
Peace reflection.
How are
you doing?
I'm good.
So I'm just happy. I'm happy to see you. I love your earrings. You look great. And I understand. I want to say that I understand where some of that emotion can come from, and the running away and just avoiding things, and how it can cause like that self-destruction. And I think what a lot of people don't really consider is that y'all are kind of Instagram famous, you know? Y'all live y'all lives in the public eye, and that requires a lot of internal work to maintain your own confidence, because you constantly have people looking at you saying, you should be this, you should be doing this. You know, people have different opinions. They don't understand where Chief is coming from in regards to his teachings. So they say, you're brainwashed, you're this, you're that. And you're in a high position, and you're growing in it. It's not like you just popped in like, yo, Chief just ready-made, got this, everything's going to be perfect, it's all under control. Like, you had to come in and learn a new way of being. And I want to honor you for that. Because, like I said, y'all in the public eye doing this. And you have a lot of people that are coming with negativity and have a lot of things to say. And I'm proud of you. I'm really proud of you.
I am thankful. The thing with your statement is the fact that people forget that they're going through the same thing that I'm going through. It's just that their life is not live. They're not living in the public eye view. So all they can do is bash. All they can do is hate themselves, because deep down inside in their subconscious, it's self-hate. It has nothing to do with me and what I'm doing. It has everything to do with being triggered with them to have the response that they're having to me, which says everything about how they respond to themselves. They give themselves hate. They give themselves no love. They don't love themselves. They don't give themselves positivity or a clear mind or morals, or give themselves a higher self like Chief to be able to get their mind out of the rut that their mind gets them in. They give themselves misunderstanding. So I cannot force them to have it, though I can live it so that they can have it through me. And that's what I choose to do. And I love myself.
Yeah. Yes, I love myself. And I think that's perfect that you're doing that and being willing to do that. A little bit more specifically in regards to responsibility, it's like you're a mom now. I'm a mom of 3. I was really excited that you guys were aiming for the home birth. I was sad that it didn't go that way. There was so much going on. But I had all my babies at home, so I know what that's like. And you're a mom now. So in regards to the responsibilities of motherhood and being a chiefess, how are you feeling in regards to keeping the balance and having the appropriate self-care and nurturing and good bonding time with the baby, and still being able to address your chiefess roles, your chiefess responsibilities?
You know, she is a part, my chiefess role and the baby is one and the same. It's just on a different frequency. I have many different responsibilities in different forms, and I cannot put one responsibility off for the other. So everything is happening simultaneously. Everything is happening at one time, and I am taking it one day at a time, putting one foot in front of the other, so that I can become the person who I know I am, and watch and let you guys see me unravel in the process. And so my responsibilities are simultaneously happening at once, and it is being balanced through communication, through failing. Literally, it's being balanced through failing. It's being balanced through growth. It's being balanced through understanding my mistakes and not wanting to do the same thing over and over and over. It is being balanced by me singing and through other facets of artwork. You understand? And doing lives and talking to you. I'm being balanced right now to, continue to respond constructively. Just me and you having this conversation is teaching me how to respond in the most constructive and compassionate way. So it's giving me an opportunity to live through my responsibility of having a conversation with you so that I don't mislead you in any type of way. You understand?
Yes, thank you.
I love myself, reflections. Okay. People in the room are getting blocked. You're getting blocked because you're being disrespectful. And you shouldn't be, because if you don't agree, then you should go somewhere else where you agree. I don't understand why you continue to, this is why you have exactly what you have, because you're giving your energy to something that does not serve you. And so anybody who wants to call in, the 2 callers that have called in, I do not feel comfortable with letting them in. So I am not letting them in. But if anybody else wants to request a live, if you want to be let in the live, please just say add me in and I can send you a request. Anybody who is in the room being disrespectful, you're getting blocked. And I just want to address something before I keep going on, because I do see a lot of comments that says like, your hair is cute, Nana, this and that. I'm happy that everybody cut their hair with you. All you guys look great and stuff like this. And though that's an aspect, and I'm thankful, what I did and what I made everyone in my family do was not a very good idea. It was not a very good thing. If you really truly understand what happened and you understand the severity of cutting your hair, then you would have a certain disposition about it. You probably wouldn't even comment me on my new look. You would just acknowledge it, of course, but you wouldn't give it so much energy that's like, oh my God, you look so much better with your haircut. You would never give me that type of energy. You would just continue to support me in my growth. And you would say, keep growing and don't ever cut your fucking hair again. That's something you would tell me as a supporter of Carbonation. Because my family, I'm sure that they felt some type of way about cutting their hair. Because in my mind, like, I understand what the hair is. But for them to cut their hair says that they really love me, says that, they really care about me. And that makes me not want them to put them in a position ever again for them to cut their hair again. So when you look at us, when you look at our hair being cut, I don't want you look good with your hair cut. I don't want that type of energy. I want growth. Keep growing, Nana. Keep growing. That's the energy that I want from this situation, because that's what it's symbolic of, and that's what it's a representation of the family cutting their hair, because this came from a failure. Us cutting our hair was not something that should be technically praised or put uplifted, because we shouldn't be cutting our hair no matter what, no matter how angry we get, no matter how irresponsible we may want to feel. Moto.